promised you a video on a couple of trades, so just basically it's just a weekly update. I'm going to show you how I trade the LTs. I'm not going to go into it in too much detail. The LT video does that. You should watch that video. This is basically just a review of a few trades I took this week, and you know where I exited them as well, which I know some of you are thinking, well, how do you exit a trade like this? Some of it's pretty common sense really. It's basically you're just using the lines again, and daily signals. Okay, so March the 12th AM, I'm not sure what day it is, let's have a look. The 12th, Monday. Okay, so on Monday, this is the AM chart, which is the session chart basically. You know, this is the one MT puts up just before the session starts. I looked on the charts and these signals appeared this weekly, and this one on the GJ here appeared at the back end of last week. Okay, so there's always going to be some you know, some thrust to them. Basically I know because of these weekly signals, okay, that the GJ and the EJ want to go up. Okay, so how do I enter those trades? Well, I'll just show you now. Basically it's a lot easier than you think. Okay, these happen during the night as well, which makes them so much sweeter. Okay, this was the GJ 4-hour chart. Now if you've watched the other video, which I strongly advise you to do anyway, you'll know that I use momentum, read momentum on the 4-hour chart when I'm not in the room. We don't have access to flashing boxes all the time, so you have to be able to read it in the market. Okay, and as you can see here, these candles shot up here, but how do you take advantage of it? How do I take advantage of it? Okay, right, well, this candle here was it's the 9 AM. Listen guys, I'm going to call this the 10 PM candle, right? I'm just not taking into account the 1 hour difference between America and the UK at the moment, so we'll call it the 10 AM candle. This opens at 10 PM candle, opens at 10 PM and closes at 2 AM. Okay, now I'm in bed, so what do? I know there's a really good chance that the GJ is going to go up. Okay, so I put a buy stop just above the high of this candle. Okay, that's the GJ, so I'll just show you, it's a little clearer on my own chart. This was the candle in question. Okay, now as I said, I was in bed way before that candle closed here, so my buy stop, the yellow line, is where I put the buy stop. Okay, now the good thing about these buy stops, guys, is that let's say this just didn't go up and there was no momentum in the market to the upside, it just carried on going down, then the trade wouldn't have been triggered. I wouldn't have been in a losing trade. Okay, but at some time in the early hours, I mean this was the 2 AM candle to the 6 AM in the morning candle, I mean still in bed, and sometime during that 4-hour candle my trade was triggered, and you know, before I got up this was probably up here somewhere. It could even be higher. Generally what happens is you get a push, carries on a push like that, and then it comes back down. Okay, so this was the 10 AM till 2 PM, just before. This is the session candle here, so you're looking there, and well, it was on 120 or 130 odd pips. Alright guys, that was just the GJ. Let's look at the EJ. Same again, I know because of the weekly on here, right, that there's a really good chance that it's going to go up. And again, this was the same candle, the 10 PM till 2. I was in bed, so buy stop just above that. Let's have a look at the EJ. again, just that's the same candle there, snoring at that time when that closed. And look at that again. If it didn't, there wasn't momentum in the market, it just carried on ambling around or just going down, then I wouldn't have been in this trade. But because I've used the buy stop, there you go, I'm not sure what it went, 120 pips or whatever. Okay, so that's just how to use buy stops and recognise and you know, to recognise when momentum's in the market. As I say, a lot of my trades are done while I'm in bed, especially where the Japanese yen, the Aussie dollar, the New Zealand dollar are concerned. Don't ask me about them, guys. I'm just a multi-trader as it happens, but I'm not going to go into them in the room. Okay. Now, somebody, I think it's Mercy, asked me about how do I exit them? How do I exit them? Well, what happens when you hit a line? We've already said that these lines are effectively walls. Okay, so what happens when you hit them? I'll look at this one, because this was, you know, the actual day. Well, look, the GJ here, it's gone right up to the orange line on the second trade that I took on this. Okay, right up to the orange line there. Same with the EJ, look, right up to the orange line there. Let's have a look on the next chart. It's touch, pulling back a bit. It's pulling back a bit there. Okay, so let's have a look on the next chart. Pulling back a bit, pulled back a bit more there, you see. So these, you look at this, if you see this in the room approaching the line, then, and you also see you're getting, you know, momentum against you, then just take the profit, guys. There's always other times you can enter. Okay, so yeah, that's one way. Another way, you know, signals, daily signal appears against you like these here, and get out, because you know it's going to go. You know it's going to go against you for a while. As I say, you can always get back in again. Well, like this one here, a 4 hour, you know, you should be thinking, right, that's appeared. Yes, you got a bounce there off there, but you didn't get a signal up with it, so it's like, you know, time to maybe just take your profits. Okay, I think I've covered just about everything that I can cover on it, guys. As I say, your best bet is to watch you know, the other LT video. It goes into more detail about it on that. Obviously, use your lines. You can see what happens with these lines. You know, every time you touch them, there's a reaction. Every time, even if it goes through, it's generally, you know, virtually every time a reaction. Look at the GU going up here; it's bouncing off the orange line. It's obviously come down a few times, but then just rode it all the way up. All right, here, look at this yellow signal down here. Hits the orange line. Look at the next week. Shot up here, shot back up. And that's just all because of this bounce off this wall, basically. All right, so yeah, watch the other video, and you know, try and get used to, even if you're only doing, you know, I don't know, £5 a pip, you know, whatever. I mean, basically these weekly signals are immense, guys. They're immense. Look at this weekly one here on the GJ. That is what, 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks down to the next signal. Okay, 4 weeks, that's 1150 odd pips. Right, so in a month there you could have said, right, well, I just stayed into the next signal. Okay, I had £2 a pip. What? You know what I mean? It's £2 a pip. What's that? Two. Oh, you do the math. Anyway, yeah, the strength of these signals, guys, they are, you know, immense. And I mean, I'd probably, if there's no weekly down here, then, you know, you're obviously going to get a move down, and I think we did during the session, judging by my own charts. Then I'll be looking to take this up again. Okay, on the EJ, the same with the GJ. I'll be looking during the night, seeing where the candles left, and, you know, if we go above if we trigger my buy stops during the night, then I'll be back into the upside again. Okay. Alright guys, I think that's about it. As I say, this is just basically, showing you a couple of trades that I've taken and how I took them. A couple of exit points, tips on exiting LT trades, but generally I think your best bet would be just to watch the other video. It goes into much more detail on when to enter trades, how to use buy and sell stops for trend and against the trend moves and that. So yeah, alright guys, so hope it's kind of helped you out a bit. Just one thing guys, not too many questions on this in the room please. I get bombarded with questions. I don't mind most of the time, but it just leaves me very little time to trade. Okay guys, see you later.